is my next project here. This is a Toro personal pace with the 7.25 gross torque engine, 190cc. And this is the model with a blade control system on it. This is model 20333. It's a 2014 model. And we got a no start condition on here. Let's see if we can get this back running. This also belongs to a neighbor here. Didn't bring the bag with me, don't need it. Looks like he's put a inline filter in here, I just noticed that. Don't think that came with it. Blade control system, this is the knob that operates that. You can start this without pulling this handle down, and then you engage the blade by simply pressing that knob, pulling it up, and that's your stop button to stop it from running. These are really nice because you can not have to restart it if you need to move something out of the yard. Not sure what's wrong with this. Doesn't seem to be getting gas, perhaps. But he only uses as a trim mower, so it doesn't get used that much. See if we can recreate what it's doing here. Let's take a look underneath. Very clean. Said he recently sharpened the blade on it. You can kind of see the difference with there's a belt in there that drives that blade from the engagement feature. Very nice mower, can't be much wrong with it. Let's see if we can, I'll show you more about it, and then we'll try to recreate what it's not doing. And that looks good under the flap there. Uses this for mulching. Don't really see any real rust problems on here. And this is the model and serial number of this Toro, model 20333. And the serial number 314 shows me it's a 2014 model. And we're going to check the oil in this, make sure it's full. And it appears it is, maybe a little overfilled, but it looks clean. Just going to check the air filter here and make sure the choke is moving. Has an automatic choke on here. Runs by the flywheel. Oh wow, looks like a new air filter. Really clean, yeah, brand new, looks like. And I can see the butterfly. And that's free, so it's not stuck. And you can tell by the wheels here it hasn't been used that much. Lots of tread on the front and back for a 2014 model. Very nice looking mower. And we're just going to check it's got enough gas in it. And it doesn't smell bad. Mower doesn't get used that much, just as a trim mower. Well, let's see if we can recreate what it's not doing, which is not starting. I haven't put any carburetor cleaner in here. Haven't checked the spark or anything. Just going to try to start this as is. And who knows, it may just start up. And we don't have to pull any handle down, we can start it as is. Plenty of compression. But we're not getting anywhere here. Let's check the spark plug here and then also maybe put some carburetor cleaner in here. Well, we're just going to go right for the carburetor cleaner here and check the spark plug later if needed. This thing is so new, I can't imagine the spark plug being bad. Let's see if we can shoot a little carburetor cleaner in there. See if it does anything. that tells me the spark plug is good. So we're not getting fuel. We keep pushing some carburetor cleaner in here. We have a plugged up carburetor, and or I wonder if some sediment has totally stopped up this little filter he's put in here. Because these normally don't come from the factory like this. You can add them later. Kind of a little inline filter. Let's keep pushing some carburetor cleaner in here and see if it'll continue running. Alright, take 2 on the carburetor cleaning here. Good sign is it does try to start. And that's about all it will do. So pretty sure we got a carburetor issue with this Toro. Something's plugged up. Gas smells okay, not much gas in there, but should be enough to get it started. Very nice mower. Let's see if we can take this carburetor apart and see what's plugging this up. And we still have a no start condition for this Toro. So we're going to take this decorative cover off. And before we even take this carburetor off, I'm going to make sure fuel is flowing through this fuel line with that filter that he added. That's not a, it's just a sediment filter. Things drop to the bottom here. Make sure it's not clogged up before we go too far here. And the choke and linkage is working fine on here. Nothing is stuck. This air filter cover off so we can get better access to this fuel line. And we're going to remove these 3 air filter cover bolts here. They're 5/16. And now we can get to the fuel line a lot better here. We're going to put a vice grip clamp on here and slowly release this, see if we can get some gas to come out before we take this carburetor off. And I got a rag here and you can definitely see fuel is flowing. So that is not the problem. We got a problem with this carburetor. Let's get this secured here. So something definitely is plugged up in this carburetor. We're going to first start taking off this auto choke fan here. This is a 1/4 inch nut here. And then we'll get better access to our 3/8 inch bolts here where we can get the carburetor off and the linkage. Auto choke is off. Now let's get the 2 3/8 inch bolts out. I'm going to disconnect this fuel line here so I can get access to that bolt on this side. There we go. Bolts. It's a matter of twisting this to get it off the linkage, and there is our carburetor. Let's clean this outside off before we open it up and see what's plugging this up. And I cleaned all the dirt off the outside here, and trying to spray some carburetor cleaner in the inlet, it just comes right back out. So something's definitely stuck in here. I'm going to remove this 1/2 inch bowl nut here and find out what the mystery is. I don't see any daylight in this little bowl nut jet here. So we will clean that out. All in all, not that dirty in here that I can see. Let's get the float out. Doesn't look that bad. So let's clean this up, make sure we can get some carburetor cleaner to go through all these jets and see if we can get this Toro back running here. And that was a problem. This jet was clogged up, if you can see through there. Kind of ran through a pin through here. And also sprayed some carburetor cleaner. Got the rest of the carburetor cleaned up, sprayed through all the holes and passages, and gas is getting through there. So let's reassemble this, see if we can get this Toro back running. And we got our float and needle back in. Let's put the float bowl on and the bolt nut. And we'll tighten the bowl nut. There we have a clean carburetor. And I can blow air into the inlet here with the carburetor in this position. And if I turn it upside down and try to blow in there, I can't blow air, so that tells me the float is opening and closing like it should. So let's reassemble the carburetor back onto the Toro. And the clean carburetor is back on this engine. Got the linkage in. I'll have to put this auto choke fan on in just a second here. I want to first put on the gas line and release this vice grip, make sure we're not leaking any gas. And nothing is leaking, that is a good sign. I'll go ahead and put the auto choke fan back on, air filter cover. I think we'll be ready to give this Toro a start. And the air filter housing's back on the carburetor. Now we just need to put the air filter in. Tighten that down and then put the decorative cover back on. Alright, the Toro is fully assembled now with a clean carburetor. Let's put the spark plug boot back on, take that off for safety. I think it's got enough gas in it. Let's see if she'll start up. Here we go. There we go. That's how it runs, because the blade's not engaged yet. Let it warm up a little bit. Simple fix. Smoking a little bit there. Because that jet was clogged up. See if we can engage the blade. Propelled. Sit here and run a while, put some gas in here. I think we got the Toro fixed. For a little while now. Let's engage the blade and see if it smooths out some. Yeah, that sounds better. Start it back up.